Hello. If you don't know me yet, my name is Tracy Lane. It's actually Tracy Hinkinen, but social media has a hard time finding me with all the N's and K's that are involved in my actual last name. So I go by my middle name of Tracy Lane. And if you're watching this, you probably trusted me with your face and decided to take that leap of faith and try this incredible cream makeup called SEINT. So I'm gonna go through and do a basic application with these 4 colors, which I have plenty of other tutorials if you got more than this, but I want to show you how I apply with these 4 colors to give yourself a flawless, natural look, which doesn't age you. That's like my main thing with this makeup. I love that it lets me look more youthful instead of less youthful. My liquid foundation was making me look older every time I put it on. This makes me look younger. So let's get going. I'm gonna apply with my fingers and then blend out with this brush, which is what I recommend if you want medium coverage. But you can literally blend out with any brush, whatever brush you got, you can blend it out this way. I think when you're first starting out, applying with your fingers is the simplest way to learn this makeup, so that's what we're gonna do. I like to start with contour because it kind of gives you a roadmap of where to place all the other colors. Your contour is going to be a little bit harder to get into. Like, it's just a denser consistency. So I typically, if I'm applying with a brush, I like tap it in there a few times, or with my finger, I just kind of rub it back and forth to warm it up. I think it's just a matter of the ingredients are different. So we'll start at the top of our head and just go right up by our hairline and kind of create a rainbow. If you have a larger forehead and you want to shrink it down more, you can go to the peak of your brow and leave that there and let it heat up a little bit, because your face is going to warm these creams up, making it so much easier to blend. Nose, I do both my fingers in the tin and then I get them as close together as possible and go straight down my nose. The closer these lines are together, the smaller your nose is going to look once we add in that brightening shade. So if you already have a small nose and you just want to like chisel and define it, then you can go on the sides of your nose. I don't have a super tiny nose and I like to slim mine down a little bit. Then for our cheekbones, we're gonna find the cheekbone and then not go on the top of the cheekbone, but kind of just on the bottom of it where I can feel it as I push in. Like, I'm not right on top of it, but I'm not like way down here under it. You can just sort of feel that you're at the bottom of it. And then you don't want to go past the center of your eyes. I kind of use like right in here as the sweet spot. So you can play around with it. Everybody's face shape is a little bit different. And so much of this is personal preference. There is no perfect magic right way. Like, you can't mess this up, so just play with it and try going a little further out one day, and then if you don't get the definition you want, pull it down a little bit further the next day, like whatever. It's so easy to just play with and give yourself permission to do that. I take a little bit under my bottom lip and then I go right on my cheek, or no, this is a jawbone. So I find my jawbone and then go right under it. Okay, so that is contour. Now we're gonna go in with our brightening color. Just for the sake of telling you, because people like to know, I used Astoria as my contour. I can wear like 3 or 4 different contours. It's all a matter of preference. So I'm gonna match you to the one that I think looks best, but if you don't love it, if you feel like, oh, it's pulling red, remember you have 30 days to swap out these shades. So don't just sit there and be like, I don't like this. Tell me so that I can help you, or you just email them. It's ask@SEINTofficial and you email them and say, hey, I just got this, I'm not loving it, and I can tell you what color to swap out if you feel like it's pulling the wrong color. Okay, now I'm gonna go into Candlelight, which is my brightening shade, and I'm not gonna go heavy on the eyes, like I don't go swoop, because I don't want to get too much product, because of course this is where we show those first signs of aging. And then I just do a little bit up here, and I'm just gonna lightly slide my finger down the center of my nose And then I'm gonna do, I always think of Hitler when I do this. And then I think of the movie, the Bridesmaids movie, you know, where like she's on muscle relaxers or something, or anxiety meds, and then she drinks on the plane and she's all loopy and the flight attendant's getting mad at her. And she's like, sorry, my head goes a lot of places. All right, so you just kind of go down the center of your face and then under your eyes with that brightening shade. And next we will do our main shade. Okay, now my main shade right now is Sandy. So I'm really just gonna fill in wherever I didn't apply those other colors. Some people like to apply their cheek color right now. I don't. I feel like everything gets a little muddled if I do it all together. So I go in and I kind of apply this in any of the empty spots, and then I go in later with the cheek color, and it works great for me. But if you're super crunched for time, instead of putting your main highlight here, you could put some dots of your lip and cheek color. And I'm not getting a ton of product. I'm not like gouging in there. These should last you quite a while. You just tap and dot on. And next we will blend. Like I said, I'm using the blush and bronzer brush. Mine is a different color because it's the mascara. It's from back when they were called mascara, but same brush, just different coloring. So I'm gonna start with the lightest colors. If you want light coverage, you can swirl like this. I don't like super light coverage, so I stipple. I pounce and I stipple. It takes a little bit longer, but for me, it gives me the coverage that I prefer. So first I just marry the main brightening shade and main highlight and brightening highlight. So I start with those and I just sort of pounce. And like I said, your face, your skin temperature is warmer than the air temperature, and so it's done its job to make these creams super blendable. And I just pounce down my nose. If I swipe down my nose, I'm gonna move some of that contour and take it away. Okay, then I'll go in to contour. I do a little bit more swiping with the contour just to kind of push it up. And again, its consistency is just a little bit different, but I'm not like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I'm kind of like pouncing and pushing it up at the same time. And then just stipple down, swipe, swipe, stipple, stipple, stipple. Kind of like that. Does that help? And then I always forget to do this. I'll be walking around and people will be like, you got a little, oh yeah, that's my contour. I forgot to blend. I typically do swipe on that contour because I'm not really looking for coverage down here. I'm more just looking for the shading. Okay, and then we're gonna go back in and get any areas where there's not enough coverage, or like here I can see I need a little bit of blending. We'll do that in a minute. Okay, so I'm just gonna pounce some more on my nose to really press that contour in, but to not have those definitive lines like you could see. And then I can tell I want a little bit more coverage in here. I've got a lot of redness there. So rather than using my fingers, I'm going to tap in, like literally that's enough. And then I'm just pouncing it over any areas that I feel need a little bit more coverage. Okay, so if you get done and you're like, okay, I like the coverage, but I feel like I blended away my contour, just go back in and do a little more. like I actually feel like this side I didn't blend too much, but this side I did. So just reapply, tap, tap, tap. Now if you want, oh man, I'm sitting on my foot and it is asleep. Okay, so if you want what the young kids call the snatched look, then you're gonna take a little bit of your brightening shade and you're gonna go right under your contour with just a tiny bit, and then you're gonna kind of pull it down, and that's going to make that contour pop even more to make it look so chiseled and snatched. Okay, I feel good. I feel like that's good coverage. So now we'll do lip and cheek. You can either use your brush to tap in or you can dot it on. Again, if you dot it on, there's going to be more wiping and swirling to get it to blend in. So if you like a fuller coverage, just tap your brush into it and then apply wherever you like your blush. I like to kind of lift and slim my face because I got a lot of cheeks. But if you're losing volume here and you want to create a fuller face look, then you can bring your blush down onto the apples of your cheeks, which if you kind of go down from your pupil, that's usually the furthest in we want to go. So, you know, you could do it here up the cheekbone. But if you want to lift and slim, then we're gonna go start kind of at the outer edge of your eye and pull it up the temple. And then for your lips, if you want more of a lipstick look, you can use your finger to apply. If you want more of a lip stain, just press your brush in and pat it on. And it's gonna be a little bit softer look, and then I'll show you if I use my finger, it goes on brighter and more dense. And that's it. If you want to use a setting spray, you can absolutely use a setting spray, or you can set with powder, or you can not set at all. One thing to remember is the first week or two using this, your skin is trying to adjust to it. It's used to a foundation that is more drying if you were using a liquid or a powder. And so it's got to get used to these nourishing creams that lock the moisture into your skin. So it's kind of a pain initially. You might have some oiliness. You might feel like the makeup's wiping off. I promise it will get better. And the benefit is the skin actually helps your skin. Like, you're going to notice your skin getting better the longer you wear this makeup, because like, what's the difference between a raisin and a grape? Moisture, hydration. So this is holding the hydration and the moisture in your skin. And God, flyaways really distract me. ADHD. And so it's actually going to improve your skin. So I promise you, getting through that adjustment period is worth it, although it can be a pain. And a lot of people don't have that, but I had it. I had it bad, real bad. So I like to let people know, like, don't give up. It's not that this makeup isn't right for you. It's just that your skin is not sure what to do with all the goodness that is in this makeup. So, all right, please reach out to me if you have questions. You have access to me via email and text. You can send me messages on social media. However, I get a lot of those and sometimes things get missed. And so I reserve email and text only for my customers. So that is the best way to get a hold of me and get a quick, prompt response. So that is it. I hope this was helpful. I love you. Jesus loves you more.